Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Rassle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Hallbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Cory Castle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Rassle Rock in a cave. What's going on, everybody? Hello, I just want to welcome you all to the show. Yeah, man, sorry about the little bit of an echo. I changed my location a little bit. I know it looks exactly the same.
It's a bunker.
But I'm now in the Rassle Rock bunker. It's like the most echoey place that I've ever seen with sound dampening panels. So, yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with this for a little bit until I can fix it. So it might be a couple weeks. But that's cool. How you guys doing, man? We're a week away from Wrestlemania.
Yay!
I'm super excited about it.
We were discussing
about anybody else.
We were discussing it earlier. We were just worried about like how it's going to perform on Peacock. It's like, yeah, I've been having issues. I've been having issues with like data lag and all kinds of stuff with Peacock already. So I'm wondering how a data-heavy show that's live, how it's going to do on.
Yeah, it's going to be, the bandwidth is going to be off the charts. I mean, and they're going to be using every bit of servers that they've got to get that out there running. And like the experiences that I've been having, I've only been dealing with a little tiny bit, is that like the sound cuts out on me a little bit. But I mean, that's less of an issue for us personally because we don't listen to the sound of Wrestlemania and stuff, but for others, there's going to be a long laundry list of complaints, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to have one of those old school computer rooms with all the giant cabinets with the two spinning wheels. That's just an entire building, like in the '80s. You see them in all the '80s movies.
I already have complaints. The Peacock network is basically USA and all their other affiliates, right?
Yeah.
Why can I not get Monday Night Raw live on the Peacock network?
Because it still has to go on USA for some reason.
Still has to go on USA.
I think Peacock's more of like a NBC Universal.
But USA's one of their
USA's in that, yeah. But I'm sure they still have like advertisement contracts for live TV on cable USA network.
You pay this money to watch stuff, and you can't watch it. And if you notice the Peacock network, I think their most recent Raw is like September. Like, I mean, they're too busy going back and censoring old '90s material right now. So
it's the most first world problem we'll have today.
I am a first world person. I want to watch it live instead of watching it through some guy's Twitch stream that's illegally streaming, and I have to listen to him talk through the entire Raw episode because I don't want to pay for cable anymore.
All right. I mean, it is what it is. There's going to be bugs and stuff in the beginning. There was a bunch of bugs and stuff in the beginning of the WWE Network. I remember WrestleMania 30, I couldn't watch it live, and it had to, as soon as I hit play, it skipped directly to Daniel Bryan winning the heavyweight championship because it completely spoiled all of WrestleMania 30 for me. So, I mean, there was a lot of bugs in the beginning. It kept on freezing and everything else. So it's going to be a thing that we're going to have to live with. The censoring thing bugs me more than anything else. While Roddy Piper painting half his body black for WrestleMania 6 is incredibly racist, I don't want to never see that match again. Like, because not that it was a great match or anything like that, but Roddy Piper's no longer with us, and he was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and I like to go back and watch some of his old stuff. And the fact that is now completely deleted after I've thrown away my entire DVD collection because I thought we were going to have the WWE Network forever.
You did that?
Yeah, I did that. I had the entire WrestleMania box set. It was like 1 through 21 or something like that.
Man.
I had the entire thing. Well, I mean, I sold it. I didn't just throw it in the trash. I sold it, but I mean, I didn't think I was going to need it anymore. We had them all on one convenient little friggin' thing. So,
yeah, I get like they're worried with like new, but there's no one new jumping on that's going to magically find Roddy Piper. Like, I don't, don't get me wrong. It's way past, being okay, with that segment. Same with the even DX doing the Nation of Domination thing, which, we all found hilarious when we were kids.
Yeah.
We didn't realize like there was like a really bad connotation with them just making fun of it.
Yeah. But it was more about those individuals and not like a whole culture being misrepresented.
Right.
That was the time, and that like our bad, but like that you can't erase history because then we don't learn from it. Exactly.
But that's the new mentality now, is erase history and then pretend that everything's been great since the day it started. There's been puppies and rainbows and everything since, the dawn of time.
You're talking about Nick Burke's puppies? Nick Burke's Deborah puppies?
I wonder if Nick Burke has seen that video yet. We got to show that to him. I got to throw that up on YouTube. But yeah, man, it's when I was a kid, I had no idea that the Hot Rod Hot Scott thing had anything to do with race. I didn't understand it at all. I was like, why did he paint half of his body black? Like, it wasn't like blackface, it was black. Like, he took black shoe polish and just went, halfway around.
And the hilarious story about it was he did that dumb skit, and then he couldn't get the shoe polish off his body. He was walking around like an idiot in the airport, and he had all kinds of problems trying to fly and everything because of it. So he got his comeuppance for doing something so stupid.
Yeah. And that DX Nation of Domination skit was still hilarious. I know you shouldn't do blackface. It's absolutely horrible and racist, and it's a whole thing. I get it, but that's one of the most classic bits of all time, man. Like when you think DX doing like the
Road Dogg doing that thing the whole time with the chest protector on, and then X-Pac having the Mizark, and then the Croc asking him why his boobies went all the way around to his back.
Yeah.
Those were all like funny little insults.
Very, very funny. Very funny. I get it. I understand it. But I mean,
for sure, take it down. Sure.
There should definitely be like a
warning,
a rated R thing or something, like a section where it's like not for children or not for people that are going to cancel us section. Is there, is there a different time section of the WWE Network? Because you could go back and watch Friends and see a whole bunch of racist stuff.
Oh, Friends was homophobic as fudge.
Yeah, man.
If you watch Friends, they're like, "Hey, you're gay. You're a gay one. You're gay." Like that's exactly what every episode of Friends is.
I thought we were talking about me and my friends at the bar.
That too.
in the same era. Hey, you're gay.
What a gay person you are. Ew. You're a gay person. Ew. That's like all of what Friends is.
Yeah.
Are they going to edit out Heidenreich's poetry that he read to Michael Cole?
Why, when he was
do you remember
slamming him up against the wall?
Yeah. When he was aggressively humping him from behind.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, there's probably a bunch of stuff that's going to go missing.
Yeah, I could see a lot of Divas stuff from the Attitude Era. A lot of that's Sable. A lot of the cat. The cat's going to disappear. A lot of the bikini wrestling and
the Booker T promo.
Different liquids. Oh, the famous Booker T promo is going to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping the N-word.
The only reason why I think this is scary though is because you have someone like Hulk Hogan who's done his dumb stuff over the years. What happens if Peacock decides, well, he's been known as a racist, so they just wipe out all of Hulk Hogan out of WWE history? Like, that's the only thing. Like every time something like this happens, it's usually the first step to something usually more extreme, and that's the only thing. Do I say the stuff was they're censoring is right now? But like when you start censoring stuff like that, it's like, oh well, we took this much away. Let's just chip this away, and next thing you know, it's like whole wrestlers start disappearing.
Right. You create a revisionist history in your own mind. You start romanticizing the wrong parts of who you are and what made you become that. So I think taking away big chunks of the past doesn't make them not happen. It's not like they didn't happen. So it's weird. It's because I was talking yesterday about this generation of wrestling, and I say that like as the old guy. I say that as the old grizzled vet. The thing like the passion for the business is different because when we were watching it as kids, we were watching people who were having like something that was trying to appear as if it was a fight. And now it's like they're just trying to appear as if they're pro wrestlers and not as tough guy fighters.
Yeah,
it's the bizarre thing about what people grew up watching. You know what I mean? Like it's like the zeitgeist of it that like caught them in the direction to be that type of performer.
Well, another thing is that like you can't a racing history. I get why you want to, but at the same time, it's like you can celebrate Thanksgiving while being completely remorseful that Americans back then, or colonists, or whatever you want to call them, came in and slaughtered an entire race of people, an entire land, like all the indigenous people of that land.
Right.
But you can still celebrate Thanksgiving. You just got to remember that, hey, that was terrible. Let's never do that again. And it's a thing where, you know, if you're sitting around as a new fan of wrestling and that comes on, you have, as a person, you have to know that that's bad. And you can laugh at it or not, but know that, and like know in your head, like, oh my God, I can't believe that actually happened.
Well, the other thing too is when you censor the stuff, like you're like even like you talk about the DX thing, you're censoring DX doing this blackface thing, but then you're censoring part of The Rock's history, like what helped elevate The Rock to where he is now. Like that's why WWE walked the fine line back in the day with Chris Benoit. It's like, all right, well, if we delete Chris Benoit off everything, you end up erasing, especially three major characters, Eddie, Chris Jericho, and Kurt Angle. You erase like a third of their entire like career. Like, because how many matches did they have with each other? How many times were they tagged together? Like, right. You essentially erase like a huge chunk of other people's career, and then how do you do that and balance that? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they start chipping away and say they decide to do something like that with Hulk Hogan, you erase the memories of like, you know, King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd and all these other guys that wrestle him. You erase like the biggest moments in their life, and pretty much the only time anybody's really going to see them in the ring is nobody's looking up King Kong Bundy matches, but they'll look up a Hulk Hogan match and see him wrestle King Kong Bundy. You know, like, yeah, something like that's scary, man. It's just, I understand why they're doing it, and I understand why they shouldn't do it at the same time. And it's like one of those things like you got to balance, because like you can look really bad by saying like, I don't want them to take this stuff off the TV, but it's you have to look. It's also look at the other negative that they're causing.
It's not stuff that everyone's going, you know what my favorite thing is? My favorite segment is the DX ripping on the Nation domination. No one's going like, oh, I sit and watch that every day. But it's like we don't want to pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because those moments were real. Ooh. I mean, and I don't remember at that time. I don't know for sure. And I mean, I don't want to speak for anybody, but I don't remember anybody being like visibly upset or verbally upset about that happening.
Plus, the only other big problem is Vince McMahon, you know, because wrestling's like a lot of goofy stereotypes. Vince McMahon took advantage of every racial stereotype you can think of, and like there's a lot that they can erase and say that is like, unacceptable. There's a lot of WWE can just magically disappear. I mean, I'm seeing this happen with a lot of people. Like there's a big thing with Joe Rogan right now, where he got his $100 million contract, and then they went back and just started deleting his episodes that they didn't like. And it's like, so and it was usually due to politics, but it's still like, it's like, you sign these rights away to other people manipulating your work. It's a really weird thing to me. So.
Any way you shake it, people are going to look at this episode like three middle-aged white dudes just complaining that damn it, let me tell you something, we just want to see the Mexicals. Don't touch our Mexicals, you son of a bitch. I want to see three Mexican or riding lawnmowers. That's what I want to see.
Exactly, and they were awesome.
They were awesome.
We look at it differently. We look at it as three really good luchadors going down to the ring and doing this. And we're going to see a solid match. All they see is race on a lawnmower. That's all they see. So it's
mower of lawns.
Mower of lawns? Chair of wheels?
They just see it through a different prism than we do. That's all it is. Different lens than we do. And and we're going to, I don't know, it's the only people that suffer in this is the fans who want to see history or see certain wrestlers or because the corporate people don't care. They don't care about wrestling. They just got another, revenue stream. That's all it is for them.
Yeah, it's going to suck for those people that are coming up and that actually want to see everything that's happened in wrestling. And there's going to be stuff that, you'll still be able to find some clips and stuff on YouTube and things like that, but it's just not the same thing as watching it all together as it should be in the archive that is WWE. But what is definitely going to happen in just a couple of days for us is we're a week away from night one of WrestleMania. Hopefully we'll all get to watch it. But we got a lot of cool things going on. What we did find out is that on SmackDown this Friday, we have two matches that were supposed to be on WrestleMania that are going to be happening on SmackDown. There's the Tag Team Championship match, the four-way dance between Ziggler and Rude, the Mysterios.
That's just not a WrestleMania caliber match anyway. So I see it. That should be on SmackDown.
Yeah, no big.
Well, it's a four-way dance for the Tag Team Championships. It's a championship match. I feel like it should be on WrestleMania, and these are people that have been busting their asses all year for the pandemic.
I know my heart breaks for Otis because last year on WrestleMania, Otis had probably one of the top three stories of all WrestleMania, and now he's not even going to be wrestling on WrestleMania this year. I mean, it's just weird, dude. Yeah. But I just don't see it as a WrestleMania caliber match. It's no fault of the wrestlers; they all been killing it. It's just WWE slap WrestleMania together so haphazardly this year.
And there's not much build to the story or anything like that. It's they're moving that match, and the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is also going to be on SmackDown, the SmackDown before Mania. From what I've been told, they're doing it just to make WrestleMania a bit shorter, which is good. They're starting it at 8:00. They're hoping to wrap it up in 3.5 hours each night. And they're cutting down the pre-show as well. The pre-show is only going to be an hour long, as opposed to previous years where it's been 2.
It's still 3.5 hours a night.
Yeah.
Plus Takeover is now, because they're doing it on 2 nights. Almost 2 hours longer than a normal Takeover.
It's funny is now since NXT is moving to Tuesdays. It's going to now be, what's it start this week? The Hall of Fame is going to.
The Hall of Fame says Tuesday.
So Hall of Fame Tuesday, then Wednesday and Thursday are Takeover.
No, it's Wednesday's Takeover 1. Takeover 2 is the week after WrestleMania.
Oh.
Is it really?
Yeah, the second half of Takeover is the week. That's what I thought. I thought it was the second week.
I don't like it being all bookended like that. That's dumb.
I don't like it, period. I really think they should have just did a Takeover. Why can't we just do a Takeover we could have done it this weekend.
Right.
And, like we could have done a takeover pay-per-view this weekend and then do Mania. I mean, I get it because Mania is 2 days now. You can't really do what we used to do, which was Hall of Fame, Takeover, Mania, which I still prefer that better. But
that's like I mean, either way, it's still like a full week of pro wrestling, like brand new pro wrestling content. That's a ton for expecting your consumers to consume.
But I am excited for all of it. I definitely want to see all of it. What do you guys want to get started with? Do you want to talk about Wrestlemania, Takeover, or Hall of Fame? What are we jumping into first here?
Who's in the Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame, and as of right now, they're going to be combining it with 2020 since they didn't do a ceremony last year. The 2021 inductees are going to be Molly Holly, Eric Bischoff, Kane, the Great Khali, and Rob Van Dam.
Why the Great
Why?
Khali?
Yeah, the Great
Why the
Khali.
Great?
Well, because they're trying to get in really hardcore with India, and he's a big deal in India, and he's training a bunch of new wrestlers and things like that.
I mean, dude, he is the first Indian-born world heavyweight champion. I mean, that's not something you can take away from him. That's definitely a thing that he accomplished. I don't think.
He also used to chop at people and hit them with basically his elbow. He could never hit the chop wherever, like, to hit somebody.
Right. He was never good, but
Yeah.
as far as like a run or a career, I guess that's considered a Hall of Fame career because like he got into it late and he was only around for a certain amount of time, and in that certain amount of time, he made an impact.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he was super tall dude. He's retired now, and he's a former, I think, 2-time world heavyweight champion, if I'm not mistaken. So
I know, it's just, he's like synonymous with the Punjabi match, which is like terrible, and like it whereas like you're looking at the other people, all their body of works matter. Molly Holly matters for all the women that are wrestling now. She was basically the technical wrestler when everybody else was in bra and panty matches. And she was a great act, and then Mighty Molly is still the Hurricane of Mighty Molly was still one of my favorite things ever. And then Kane, you can't even, there's nothing you can say bad about Kane's career at all. And the same goes for Rob Van Dam. And then Eric Bischoff is, the guy almost took WWE down. Like the guy deserves to be in all, they all do.
Yeah.
I mean, we always get angry over a fake Hall of Fame, but like, it
is what it is. And they're combining it also with the 2020 Hall of Fames. JBL, the British Bulldog, Jushin Thunder Liger, the NWO, the Bella Twins, and William Shatner. Also, Titus O'Neil is getting the Warrior Award this year.
Can we mention real quick? Saying Great Khali doesn't deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, and saying Jushin Liger, who's wrestled one match in WWE, does. I mean, for sure, he influenced a generation, for sure.
Yeah.
But as far as being a WWE in-ring competitor, he wrestled Tyler Breeze once, and I don't remember.
Awesome.
I don't remember anything before or after that.
That match was so good.
Yeah.
and you got to think Jushin Thunder Liger's like 50.
Yeah.
Wrestling, and that match was awesome. But the whole thing is like the influence, even though like I knew Jushin Thunder Liger was from WCW and NWA when he used to wrestle over there, but he's the guy who influenced Rey Mysterio, who Rey Mysterio influenced everybody else. Like,
Right.
He's one of the all-time greats.
Definitely.
So it's more about the pulse of the individual and the impact that they made than it is their body of work.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about with Great Khali, but like he's going to influence somebody from that country that might actually be something down the line, but he was never anything.
Dude, look at Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal was influenced by. I mean, like he was wanted to represent his country like Great Khali and
Canada.
well, his culture, his.
I know. I'm just saying he was from Canada, so. And he actually joked about it a couple of times when they were all talking about him representing India, and he's like, well, I'm Canadian.
Plus, last year or 2019, they put in Jim Barnett, who's never done anything for WWE at all. He's just a legend. So it's more of a wrestling Hall of Fame than it is just singularly WWE Hall of Fame. So
Is that the guy who Jim Ross does the impression of, and he goes, "My boy."
My boy, I think so. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. So man. It's going to be a good night. Hall of Fames are always fun. They always, at least partially, turn into a bit of a roast of the other wrestlers. So it's going to be fun. I'm curious as to what Rob Van Dam's going to do. I think that's going to be hilarious. There's going to be a lot of hilarious things. If you didn't see the,
is he going to show up with his porn stars that he's been dating lately and on stage with them?
Well, they recorded them already. Like they did it from their homes, like their speeches and stuff. So I don't think it's going to be something they show up to.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's going to be entertaining regardless. Another thing, I am seeing that night 2 of Takeover is happening this Thursday. So it's
Thursday? I thought they said after. They were belting out dates, and I was filling out because it was the main event of NXT, which made no sense. So they have a battle royal, and then the 6 guys left in the battle royal wrestle in a gauntlet, and then that guy finally goes up against
it's hard to keep track of. Like you just water it down so much where it's like, bro, I stopped watching as the casual fan. Let me say, I'm speaking as the casual fan. I stopped watching wrestling because they made it too complicated, and then you just made it more.
From what I've seen, I followed it completely. For somebody that's really into tournaments like I am, and they never do tournaments anymore, I thought this was great. It's a battle royal. The last 6 fight in a gauntlet match, and the winner of that gauntlet match faces the champion. I thought it was plain and simple, and everybody is like, I don't understand what's happening. It's plain and simple, man. There's 6 people, and the winner gets a title shot. It's not that difficult.
I know, but
for me,
I have to admit, I fell asleep during that match.
Well, then that's why you're confused, sir.
I'm just confused on the what's his name, the Dexter Loomis character. So they could have done more with him. And it would have been more fun. I got him standing in the corner doing nothing, and everybody else was wrestling each other, and he's just staring. But every time they went to throw someone out, he should have walked over and threw them out and then went back in the corner and just stood there. He only did it once. And I was like, dude, if they did that the whole match, this would have been awesome. Instead, he only did it once. So now his character makes no sense to me. It's like, okay, I'm going to wait till they throw the big fat guy over the ring, and I'll help you with that one. But I'm not going to help any other. And then Eli, what's his name? Eli Drake or whatever, LA Knight.
LA Knight now, yeah.
Did they just sour on him immediately before he
they're souring on him?
He lost last week.
Yeah.
And now
it looks like no, he didn't win. Or
he didn't win.
No. I don't know. I'm thinking he's going to take it. I think it's going to be him and Gargano in night 2.
I hope. I they need to make bigger stars. I mean,
dude, that guy is so talented. I can't remember his name. The Australian Samoan guy that LA Knight wrestled last week on NXT.
Bronson
Reed. Yeah. So talented.
He's good, man.
Really, really good. I'm impressed as hell with that guy.
Very much.
I could see him up on the main roster. You know who I could also see on the main roster? Hopefully they don't mess him up. Santos Escobar. His mic work is so good.
Don't mess him up.
Yeah, I mean they'll definitely do their best to mess him up, but it'll be a cool evolution to watch.
Definitely. there's a lot going on in NXT right now. I guess we should just jump right into that. Night one, we're going to have Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's title. Walter versus Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT UK Championship.
Gonna be awesome.
That's the only thing that's like the thing that I'm looking forward to the most on that takeover.
Well, there's a couple things that I really want to see here. And this is the one that's on USA on Wednesday. This is going to be the last USA show. They have the gauntlet match that we were just talking about. MSK versus Grizzled Young Vets versus Legado del Fantasma for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And then Pete Dunne versus Kushida. Are you out of your mind? This is going to be amazing. I'm going to love every second of this.
This is what I'm saying, man. This is why I don't like the new setup. Could you imagine Tommaso Ciampa versus Walter? You get Kushida and Pete Dunne. You get Raquel and Io Shirai, and
Balor and Cross.
And maybe you get Johnny Gargano versus whoever wins the gauntlet, which they should have done on the show. That's your NXT takeover. You watch that Saturday night and you just sit there and go, man, WrestleMania's going to suck. It's like there's no way you can. That's like a perfect pay-per-view. Like, and now it's 2 nights with commercials and it's going to stop the momentum of the matches while you're watching.
Picture-in-picture. We're going to be keeping up with this in picture-in-picture.
And I'm not talking bad on because the matches are going to be awesome. Like right. I'm actually looking. I think Raquel's going to win the title, and I'm excited for it because they handled her better than they handled Rhea Ripley and the other women that were supposed to be like super badasses. And I like the way they handle her. I really do. And she's really good on the mic. So. And I like how they have, Dakota Kai run around as their little pain in the ass buddy. They do a really good job with them. And Pete Dunne Kushida, who's the best technical wrestler in NXT, it's dude.
That's gonna be nuts.
And there's gonna be bleeding chests in that Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I want to see another. Who was it? Walter and Dragunov. I want to see another one of those.
Yeah.
I want to see that happen on Wednesday on live television. That's going to be great. It's going to be a great match.
If I would want to see anything with Walter again, I would have to say Tyler Bate. The Tyler Bate-Walter match was really, really fun, man. I really enjoyed that.
And we got night 2 immediately afterwards. This was one that's going to be on Peacock. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart versus The Way for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship.
I hope they lose just for them booking them in that scumbag.
Yeah.
Where they took the title. The girls didn't even get to celebrate their titles for one night and get photos. Yeah. I was so angry. It's the first female tag team champs ever. And they booked it like that where they come out and beat them for the belts.
They lost it in 15 minutes.
So I want them to win.
Can I congratulate Indy Hartwell in her successful mission of tricking somebody into believing she's worth paying to work there?
Don't like Indy? Don't like Miss Hartwell? Yeah, I think everybody's in the same boat, man. I don't think anybody likes
the most flawed fundamentals I've ever seen on WWE TV.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know, man. WWE likes who they like, and that's about it.
I know. Between her and Aaliyah, they've had Aaliyah for what, like 7 years, and that girl's progress is going nowhere.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good right now. But it's just, the rest of the pay-per-view looks amazing. Jordan Devlin versus Santos Escobar in a ladder match for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
Unify the NXT UK and the NXT Cruiserweight Championships.
Did I say unified? Did I mess that up?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't say unified, but it is to unify that.
Well,
it is unified, yes.
Well, it was basically the interim Cruiserweight champion versus the real Cruiserweight champion type thing. So,
Razor.
It should be a good match. It should be a really good match, though.
Yeah. Definitely. Those two are both great.
I just don't care for either character. So,
We have Gargano versus whoever the winner of Night One's Gauntlet match is. We have Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole in an unsanctioned match. That's going to be sick.
It's going to be a lights out match.
Do you think it's going to be cinematic like the last time they did the unsanctioned match or whatever, like last year for Mania?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just going to be a regular match. It's
with the Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole.
Where they successfully have made him disappear. You sent pictures to who, and they just slowly just pushed him right off the screen. And no, it's gonna be great. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole is gonna be like a really great match.
Yeah. And then you got Finn Balor and Karrion Kross as well.
This one I don't know. I don't know if their styles are going to clash. I kind of think Karrion Kross is kind of lumbering sometimes.
Yeah.
His moves are kind of sluggish.
He's so big. So big.
He's huge. But you're looking at Finn Balor and moves at like the speed of lightning, like versus big lumbering dude. So I'm not sure if it's going to clash or it's going to be great. Like I don't know yet.
Well, like it seems like everybody's clamoring for him to be up in the main roster. I think there was an exchange with Randy Orton on Twitter that was like, "Will you hurry up and just get up here already, and let's make some money?" So,
Karrion Kross,
yeah. So that's pretty high in the praise department.
I think so.
I think they're trying to fast track him as soon as possible onto the main roster.
I think it's possible. I mean, he definitely looks like a main roster guy.
Right.
He's a main roster act. What is his girlfriend or his wife or whatever she is, like her coming down with the singing and the tiny outfits, and then he comes out with all the smoke and
the lighting effects.
He looks like a main event act. And you know how they are. They keep desperately trying to find the next Undertaker. They did it with like 3 different wrestlers in the last 5 years.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what happens. And all of that is on Takeover. 2 nights Takeover. So I'm happy about it.
I think they're gonna try to do the finger poke of doom.
Yeah,
Austin Theory is gonna win that gauntlet.
Just do the math. I'm going to be so tired this week. 3 hours of Raw. God knows how long the Hall of Fame is.
Yeah.
3 hours NXT, 2 hours of SmackDown, and then 7 hours of WrestleMania right into a 3-hour Raw. And then NXT starts on Tuesdays after that.
Yeah. Oh, my God. What is going on with the little dog? Did you see the promos for the little dog on NXT?
Dog?
It's Johnny's girl, Ty Valkyrie.
Oh, okay.
Ty Valkyrie signed with NXT, and she's gonna show up on Tuesday night.
Didn't they give her like a new name? What's her name now?
Frankie's the name I keep on seeing them.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the name of the girl or the dog. So I don't know, because they just keep on showing the dog. So apparently, Valkyrie or whatever her name is going to come in with a dog. Should come on with a Valkyrie. Just have a Valkyrie with it.
What, with armor and a winged horse? Where are you going to find a winged horse?
Yeah. You make one. I don't know. There was one in Endgame. If there's one in Avengers Endgame, you can have one on NXT.
CGI in pro wrestling. CGI.
Hey. Every single Roman Reigns match now starts with a giant gold Roman Reigns statue that doesn't exist. So if you can do that, you can
do the dragon.
A dragon or a Pegasus or whatever the hell you want. You can totally do that.
A Care Bear?
A Care Bear. I want to see a lot of Care Bears staring, damn it. I want to see it all. Vince loses his mind. You guys want to move on to WrestleMania? Because we got 2 nights of that to talk about.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, let's do this.
Night 1 looks pretty tight, man. We got Cesaro and Seth Rollins, which I think is going to be awesome and amazing. I'm glad Cesaro is finally getting a singles match in WrestleMania. Wow. He's been there for like 10 years. So that's going to be cool.
How wild is that? It's his first singles match ever in WrestleMania. He's been there for 10 years.
Yeah. Former U.S. champ, former tag champ, Raw tag team champ, all kinds of other stuff, man. Won the first Andre the Giant Battle Royal. He's had like 8 managers. It just go down like his list of creds. It's insane about what this guy's done. He's never had a singles match in WrestleMania until right now. Speaking of never having a match, Bad Bunny versus The Miz is happening. I don't even know what to say about that. Let's just get the crappy matches out of the way. Steel cage match: Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman.
That's happening. And
that's
next.
a thing that's happening. Yeah, that's a thing that's happening. And then let's move the tag team championship onto SmackDown because nobody needs to see that. Jesus Christ!
Well, I mean, that's an attraction. The same Bad Bunny. His name is an attraction. It's a spectacle. It's not that I'm saying it's attractive. I'm saying that's the spectacle.
I guess.
Yeah, Braun Strowman throwing Shane McMahon off the top of the steel cage. That's probably what the main, until Shane McMahon's dead, he's not going to be happy.
Yeah. Yes, they were talking about it on SmackDown. And as soon as I heard the word stipulation, I'm like, it's got to be a steel cage match because Shane needs something to jump off of. That's what it's going to be. Just name it already. Don't tease us with it because it's not going to be anything else. But moving on, we got SmackDown Women's Championship: Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. I think this is going to be really good.
Good match, terrible build-up.
What's that?
It's going to be a good match, terrible build-up. Absolutely terrible.
I'm getting to the point where I don't care what the build-up is because the matches look so good.
I do, because they broke up the Hurt Business.
Yeah, that's the most ridiculous thing in the history of the
It's actually the word, like WWE is getting beaten up from every single angle over that. Like celebrities are reigning in, like Batista. Like, how stupid are you breaking up the Hurt Business?
Yeah. Coolest thing that's going on in wrestling right now, and they just decided to destroy it.
Quick shout out to Matt Bomboy because he texted me last night and he was like, you, Rick and Mark better talk about how stupid it is. He was like, it's effed up, yo, F that. And it was like middle finger emojis.
It's literally universally hated by no matter, even like I was just listening to Jim Cornette trash it last night. And and it wasn't like a usual Jim Cornette trashing. He's just like, he was completely confused. He's like the coolest tag. You have the coolest thing in years. They looked like professionals. They looked like wrestlers. Every single person was talented. You have great mic skills. Like it's just, I hope this is all swerve and they all get back together.
I hope so. They're going to have to. I mean, there's such a public outcry right now. Like, if there was this much of an outcry to get James Ellsworth booked, you could put the Hurt Business back together.
They got James Ellsworth a freaking job, not knowing that dude's a creep.
Oh man!
It raised him.
Erase that guy. We're cool if you erase that guy. Excuse me.
That would be a better decision than breaking up the Hurt Business.
It's just I've never seen. It's been a long time I've seen someone with WWE, that's like besides like a bad skit or something like that. That's like universally like panned as like everybody hates it. Like legit across the board, everybody's mad about this.
Yeah.
And hopefully, like I said, there's been a rumor that the reason why they brought Baron Corbin in is possibly what it is they're going to do is Shelton and Alexander they got eliminated from interfering in the match, so that's why they brought Baron Corbin in because he wasn't in the match to say he can't. So they're going to use Baron Corbin to interfere in the Bobby Lashley Drew McIntyre match, and somehow he's allowed to be at ringside because it's a tag match. And he's not officially the Hurt Business.
Man.
Or they fired Cedric.
All the way around the block for that one.
I know. Or they fired Cedric and Shelton Benjamin. Now they're no longer part of the Hurt Business. They can come down to the ring.
That could be it as well.
I hope so.
Giant swerve.
I hope so.
It better be, you son of a bitch. Let's hope so, man. It's going to be good either way. It's going to be a good match. Yeah, we got that on night one as well. Lashley and McIntyre, and then there's the New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos.
I'm actually looking forward to this.
Yeah, me as well. I think these are going to be good matches.
I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do with Omos. Like I've heard rumors that he's not been doing well with training, but I'm thinking if you got Kofi and Xavier, he's going to be in the ring with, and AJ, they're all going to figure out moves to do off his giant body.
Yeah, they carry the hell out of him.
I think they could do some fun stuff with him. And Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley, this is going to be good. If they give him enough time to and if it's like a brutal match like he's been doing with Sheamus the last few weeks, it's going to be good, man. And it's a good closer for night one.
I'm into it. Night two, we got a couple good matches as well. We got Riddle versus Sheamus for the U.S. title. Hopefully, going to be a squash, and Sheamus just takes it. We got Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, which I'm really, really looking forward to. I don't care about Logan Paul at all. I watch YouTube all the time, and I've never watched a single one of his videos because I keep on hearing what a douchebag that guy is. But I don't care about him. This match is still going to be great. So I'm excited.
What's his name?
Logan Paul.
Okay.
There's Jake and Logan Paul. I always forget which one's which.
Oh,
it doesn't matter. They're both douchebags.
The blonde douchey one.
And then there's Sean Paul, who's got the right temperature to keep you warm from the sun. And then
there's Aaron Paul, who is Jesse from Breaking Bad.
Yeah. They got Big E versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental title. I'm hearing this is going to be a street fight.
Nigerian drum match.
Yeah, street fight. It's basically what that is. It's just them getting away with.
I thought they were going to have people around the ring playing drums while they were wrestling. I was like,
that's what I thought.
Fun.
That would be cool.
Could be.
If they start playing along to the pace of the match while they're going, it's I thought that would be really cool. And then they're it's a street fight. I'm like, yeah.
If it was a capoeira, that would be only the strong with banana way, banana, and they are that'll be cool to see.
Either way, it's going to be a good match.
It'll be good.
Their match at Fastlane was fantastic. So looking forward to seeing that again. The Fiend versus Randy Orton.
Boo.
Boo. Not boo. This is going to be great. It's going to be fantastic.
I just want to see them do another Firefly Fun match, and somehow they open a closet and John Cena's just locked in a closet or something.
He's just been taped up since last year.
Where he's just in a cage. Is there going through he's just in
He walks through. Orton walks through, passes by Cena on the in one of those the Silence of the Lambs cage where he's got all in, behind the glass and everything like that. He's like, you're not going to have a good time. It's going to suck for you. That'd be great. I'm interested in whatever they have planned for it because I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, dude, it's fun and it's cheesy, and that's what wrestling is. Wrestling is fun and cheesy, so just let it be what it is.
Let it be. I'm going to enjoy it. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. I think this is going to be a great match. Why are you booing? Why?
I think Rhea Ripley has, in the last year, devolved. Her wrestling has not been that great. She had that clunker with Raquel Gonzalez, and they keep pushing her like she's the ultimate badass chick. And I just don't want to see someone like Asuka that's put so much work in and carried the women's division for over a year. She's going to get squashed by this chick. And I don't think a lot of people are going to care. I really don't think Rhea Ripley is carrying the weight they think she is. I just don't think it. I just don't think it's going to work. It's one of those matches because it's live. I bet money they're going to cheer the hell out of Asuka and boo Rhea Ripley, and then they're going to be like in this bad position again. Like I said, that's why they're doing all this stuff with Bobby Lashley. They're hoping people are going to boo Bobby Lashley when it comes out. He's going to get cheered. When that lightning strike hits in WrestleMania, dude, it's going to be, they're going to lose their minds.
It's going to be cool no matter what happens. It's going to be very cool. And the last match on WrestleMania that we're going to see is Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns versus Edge for the Universal title.
Quite honestly, probably the best match of all Mania. I think this is the best match they're going to on the card.
Yeah.
The build-up has been so cool.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan. Did you see the shape Daniel Bryan was in on Friday?
Yeah.
Dude, he's ready to go. Like he look. I don't know if they told him this is going to be a long match, but he looks like he's ready. He looked phenomenal on Friday night, and then the shape he was in and everything. I'm actually looking. This is the match Mania I'm looking forward to, and I'm hoping Daniel Bryan wins it. I'm hoping they pull swerve with everybody and he pulls it out.
This is definitely the best match on the card with the best build-up.
Yes.
This is there just hasn't been anything. There might be a better match on the card, but definitely not a better match that's had a better build-up because this has been going on since the Royal Rumble, which is what every match in WrestleMania should be, is built from the Royal Rumble on and not 2 weeks beforehand.
Oh yeah, you got matches like Cesaro and Rollins that could be a better match. Mm-hmm. But like the problem is like the investment isn't as much as this Daniel Bryan match. And that's where I was talking about how the build-up's been so wonky. Like we should be invested in all these matches, and honestly, I'm only invested in like two maybe three matches.
What's Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks?
That's on night one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute! I just noticed that. So the women's tag team isn't even on Mania.
No.
Oh, that's wow. Like as much as I'm not a fan of Nia Jax, like her and Shayna have been like, featured heavily on both shows and everything. Like, and they don't have a match on Mania.
I mean, it could be. They might do something tomorrow night on Raw because they have that match with Asuka and Rhea Ripley, where they're tagging those two together for no reason against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. So they might do something somewhere down the line. They just had Natalya on Raw Talk or Talking Smack or something like that, all pissed off.
Everybody fell asleep when she started talking.
Well, I mean, she came off really pissed off, so it interested me. Where she was bitching that there's really not that many women on WrestleMania this year.
No.
Bayley, where's Bayley? Bayley has been killing it all through 2020.
Everybody's been talking about that. What happened to Bayley? Is she sick or hurt? Nobody said anything? Because if there's out of all these women, you already have Asuka and Sasha on there. Mm-hmm. And I think Asuka, Sasha, and Bayley are the three that carried the entire women's division for most of the year. And then you have to say Shayna and Nia. And then you're looking at three women aren't on Mania that were like pretty much featured the entire year. But like, let's shoehorn, Rhea Ripley in there, and
Yeah.
I don't
know. People were expecting Charlotte Flair. People were expecting Becky Lynch to make a return, Ronda Rousey to make a return. None of this ever happened. So we have what we have, but unfortunately, they're not using what we have. So we're just going to have to deal with it, I guess, unless there's going to be a Raw after Mania type of throwdown or something like that with all the women in it. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think it's wrong, especially for Bayley. I think it's wrong.
Yeah,
that she's not on it. But like I said, she might be hurt. She hasn't been on television, so maybe she's sick.
Has she done anything? It's all been that Ding Dong Hello show.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And she hasn't wrestled. She's just been doing interviews. So maybe she's hurt and they just haven't said anything.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, let's hope not. Let's hope she's all good, and maybe we'll see her in like a battle royal or something going on for Mania. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But right now, we've talked a lot about the wrestling that's just going on this coming week. Let's talk about what happened this past week. Let's shine that spotlight on somebody who wins wrestling.
Who wins wrestling? Blah, 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 blah.
Who wants to go? Anybody got one?
I got one.
Go ahead, man.
What do you got? Go for
I'm
it.
going to say Christian Cage. He had his first singles match in AEW, opened up Dynamite this week, and he beat Frankie Kazarian. I mean, it was the match, wasn't the best match. It wasn't a bad match, but I have to say, Christian he's still got it. He's still exactly as good as he was, if not better. So my pick for who wins wrestling is Christian Cage.
Yeah, his match was definitely better than Edge versus Jey Uso. He didn't look clunky and wasn't like, I don't know, he just seemed off. Christian Kazarian put on an old school wrestling match and they look good, man. It was good pacing, everything.
Mm.
And Brian Alvarez, you can eat it, dude. He went after Christian's gimmick, the outwork gimmick. And he's like, did he really outwork everybody? He was trying to troll. It's like, dude, why do you have to be a douche about everything? You're like a wrestler that never made it ever. And he attacked people that are way better than he ever was.
Whenever you bring up this person, Brian Alvarez,
Yeah,
I automatically go to, I don't know who the hell that is.
exactly.
So I imagine if I'm feeling that way and I've been in the wrestling business for 22 years, I don't know who the hell this person is. Most people shouldn't value his opinion.
I know. It's just like this whole thing, like, because he's attached to Dave Meltzer, I'm supposed to like respect everything that comes out of his mouth.
Oh, also, I don't know Dave Meltzer. Who's that?
What am I going with then?
You gotta go with Mark.
Cameron
Grimes, baby.
Dude, I have to do it for one of the best gimmicks. And now he's trying to buy the Undisputed Era IP, and he keeps annoying. He keeps annoying Roderick Strong, which I really wasn't happy about him walking out. I don't like when they do that to characters. But yeah, him like coming out with the Undisputed Grimes T-shirt, and then on top of that, when he was in the Battle Royal, it was LA Knight, him, and Dexter Loomis. He just pulled out a ton of money. He's like, "Look, you go that way, and you go that way, and let me win the match, and I'll give you this money." I love his gimmick. I love this whole like I won money off Dogecoin. And, like I love it, dude. It's great. And GameStop.
James Stark.
Yeah. Dude, the guy's entertaining. He's something that's seriously lacking in NXT right now. NXT used to have, like I said, Velveteen Dream's gone because of his issues and all these other, and it's him and Johnny Gargano are the only two that are entertaining. Whereas everybody else, it's just watching. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're great matches, but like there's just no entertainment value in NXT unless those two are on screen. And Cameron Grimes has been killing it.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. I got to go with Jey Uso. We were talking about it a little bit earlier. His match with Daniel Bryan this week was absolutely fantastic. It was crazy. It's unbelievable that those two put that good of a match on national television a week before WrestleMania, and they put on that good of a match on regular free-ass television. Yeah. That is incredible. Jey Uso has been killing it since Jimmy's been off the card, since he's been injured. He had a great feud with Roman Reigns, then he joined Roman Reigns, turned heel. And every match that he's in, he destroys, man. He's definitely a main event player. He's a main event wrestler. I just wish he would actually freaking win. If he could actually win a damn match. I don't know the last time he actually won a match. What's that?
Maybe he'll win the Battle Royal. He's in the Battle Royal.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, there's like all these people that are in the Battle Royal that I don't care about, but him, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin are in it, and I hope one of those three win it.
Well, we'll see.
Honestly, like three guys that actually entertained me all year, whereas the rest of them I couldn't care less about. Between the Hurt Business and Jey Uso just killing it for like the last 9 months. Like, I'd like to see one of those guys like win it.
Oh, goddamn. There we go, man. That's everything. That's everything wrestling all week. What do you got? What are you doing, Cory?
Did you go? Who did you say?
Yes. What? I was just talking for like 10 minutes. Did I go? Where are you?
You drowned out in a cave.
Yeah, there's a bunker.
Did you guys hear me? Did everybody hear what I was saying? I exist! Rick Connor exists!
Hey, everybody, I'm here.
God, son of a bitch.
I want to also real quick talk about some AEW stuff. I mean, not incredibly, but the fact
Good
like
show.
I thought they're having good weekly TV. I'm not liking. I don't want to even say that I'm not liking it, but it's confusing and weird that there's so many factions, and every week a new faction is kind of like you're watering down how important anybody is. And the funny part about it was like Jericho. I think Jericho said in his first book, like something that helped him get through WCW was never being somebody who joined NWO. And now everything in AEW is NWOs. Like there's 17 NWOs.
They did have some highlights, but I understand because what's his name? TJ Marshall or whatever his name is.
QT Marshall.
Yeah,
TJ Maxx.
Yeah, he's got his new faction now called the QTs Patooties.
But he just formed a new faction on AEW this week.
That already just did a new one last week, and the week before that was MJF's new faction. So it's just like every week there's a new faction, a new heel faction every week. It's like, oh, you're stacking it in the red. We don't need that many.
And it is a shame too because that match with Miro and Kip Sabian, the arcade whatever match, that was fun with the return of Trent Beretta, and that was some really good stuff. Chris Statlander returning, which they desperately need because they don't really have a lot of good women wrestlers, female wrestlers. Mm-hmm. She's definitely one of the better ones they have. They had a lot of good matches on. They had the Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid, and some good stuff. It's just the faction thing is getting too much. It's more than New Japan, and that's where they're stealing it from. Because New Japan has like multiple factions, but they're not even factions. They're almost like teams. Like almost like
it's like hard to keep track. Yeah, and it's almost with New Japan, it's like they're representing this, and it only seems like they're representing like 3 or 4 factions. In AEW, it's like there's more factions in AEW than there are like singles competitors on any wrestling roster anywhere.
On top of everything else, now I'm hearing Big Show's bringing back Captain Insano. Did you hear about this?
No.
He's thinking about doing the old Captain Insano gimmick from Waterboy.
Wow.
That's going to be happening. It's like, wow, that's what you left the company that you were in for 25 years for, is to do an old Adam Sandler bit in another company.
Compliments of Captain Insano.
Just going to laugh at people and call people virgins. That's all it's going to be. I think that's going to be it for this week. Thank you very much for joining us for Rassle Rock. Cory, do you have any plugs? Plugging anything? Get anything out there?
Just like I always say, if you enjoy what we're doing, let us know you exist. Comment on the videos below if you're watching us on Rick's YouTube page. Subscribe to my YouTube page, youtube.com/Cory Castle, for full episodes of my podcast, Evolving with Cory Castle, which you can also listen to on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. I just posted on TikTok some stuff that involved Rick with our 90% gag reel, and so he had just posted that on his YouTube page. So I just took a little chunk from it. And just keep on consuming the content, and we'll keep on putting it out there.
Definitely. Mark, you got anything?
Happy Easter, and get well, DMX.
Get well, DMX. Get well, Bailey, if you are in fact sick. Happy Easter to everybody out there. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my YouTube channel. It's tinyurl.com/YouTube Rick Connor. The DCW matches that I filmed last weekend are going to be up there very soon as today, possibly, if I can get my act together. But thank you very much for watching. That'll about do it for this episode of Rassle Rock. Check out more episodes on RassleRock.com. Let's take it out like we... Oh, I didn't do my thing. I'm Rick Connor.
I'm Cory Castle.
I'm just sitting here.
Let's take it out like we always do with Mr. Nick Burke.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Join us again for another episode of Rassle Rock. This has been Jay Davis speaking.